Hello students, today we are going to start with our writing portion, and the first topic which we are going to start with is diary entry. Now you all have written a diary? Yes, and also we have done this diary entry in our class 7th and 8th also. So let me give you a brief introduction about this. First is basically what is a diary? A diary is a personal journal of your day-to-day happenings, experiences, thoughts, moods, feelings and reactions. It is basically your confidential conversation with your own self or a trusted friend who understands you but never judges you. So, diary is expressing our own thoughts, expressing our own feelings, expressing our own reactions. Writing it down in a diary becomes a diary. But it is our personal journal basically. But in our examination, it is a question of marks. It comes for 8 marks. So we are supposed to do it. In this slide, there are some features of a diary. I know you all will be very much worried at what kind of language is used while writing diaries, whether it should be formal or informal, what kinds of sentences should be used, can we use only complete sentences or there is some other criteria, or you can say why some people consider diary as their best friend or their friend. So let me give you some of the features of a diary entry. In diary entry we always use past tense. Always keep in mind, since we are going to report or write our whole day's happenings, so the tense which we are going to use is past tense. Next is, it always uses first person pronoun, or we are supposed to use first person pronoun I, we, my, etc. Diary also describes the writer's points of view, thoughts and feelings, as we have read it in the definition of a diary, that we are supposed to describe our own views, our own thoughts and feelings, emotions, reactions, etc. It includes opinions as well as facts. Both the things you can give. You can write your opinion and you can also write the facts. Uses ambitious words to describe people and places. It is always written in an informal style, as though speaking to someone. That is why we always consider diary as our friend, because it is always written in an informal style, as if we are talking to a person, as if we are talking to a friend. Now this slide shows you how to write a diary. First is colloquial language. Basically it means we are supposed to write informal language. You should try to use chatty or informal language as if we are speaking with our friend who is just sitting by our side. The only difference is we are writing, and when a friend is there in front of us, we are speaking to him or her. Follow a diary style. Start each entry with a date and dear diary. First person, remember to use person pronouns, that is I, my, me, we, our, us. So diary is always written in a first person pronoun. Detailed descriptions. Remember to use more than one sentence to make your description more imaginable. That means every time one line must not be repeated. We have to describe, we have to write about our own imagination. Similes and metaphors can also be effective, or we can also use similes and metaphors. I hope you all know what basically similes and metaphors are. Now what are similes or what are metaphors? They are poetic devices where we compare. In simile, we compare directly. That means with the use of words like or as And in metaphor we make the indirect. For example, he is like a lion in a war. Or next example of metaphor can be he fought like a lion. Let's move to the next point. Here it is past tense. So, as I told you before also, a diary is about what has already happened. That is why we will use past tense whenever we are writing a diary entry. It is the most important point. We always make errors while using tenses and our teacher deducts our marks. So always keep in mind, whenever you are writing a diary entry, always use past tense and first person pronoun, and language should be informal. Next is self-reflection. Try to include your thoughts, your feelings, opinions and hopes. What does it mean? Just try to think, if your friend is by your side, how you are going to express your feelings, how you are going to express your opinions, your thoughts, your wishes. The same point write in your diary, the same way you write in your diary. Chronological order. Your diary should be in time order using adverbials. That means you are supposed to follow, because it is your examination question. It is not your personal diary. You are supposed to follow a proper format while writing a diary entry. You are supposed to follow proper order while writing a diary entry. You are stick to the formal sense, but try to write it in a informal way. Students, now I am giving you format for a diary entry. You all are supposed to make this format in your fair notebook. In the first blank, you can see date and day. You have to write date, comma, day. Date will be written on the left hand side and day will be written on the right hand side. One more way is to do is, you can write date first, then in the next line you can write the day. Both the ways it is acceptable. Next is leave a line blank. Next line you are supposed to leave blank. Remember we have done that in class 8th also. Next is time. Now many of us say that we can we write day time on the right hand side? Yes beta, you can write time on the right hand side also. Again one line blank, then we are going to write salutation, or you can say opening, which is dear diary. Then again leave one line blank and write your content, which is also known as body. After writing content, you are supposed to leave a line blank and then write your name. Clear? Now, let me tell you once again, on the left hand side, always keep in mind, and please make it a point, whenever you are writing a diary, you can draw beautiful page in your notebook, draw the margins, make rings as it is there in the, you can say, diaries, and then draw it. It is your own style. You can write it in any of the way. Make it as beautiful as you can. Again, let's recapitulate the format. In the very first line, beta, you are supposed to write date along with the day. Then leave one line blank. Again, time. Most often we used to write our diary at night. So we are supposed to write 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m., 10:30 p.m., 9 p.m. or the same. Clear? This time can also be written in the first line on right hand side. Both the ways are acceptable. Again one line blank, then give the heading Dear Diary. You can also give your diary a name. Hello Kitty, how are you? Clear? It should be very informal language. The tone should be informal, as if I am talking to my diary, as if I am talking to my best friend. In the same way, you are supposed to write, "Hello, diary, how are you? After a long time," like that. Then we are supposed to write the body, or you can say the content. Actually, this content includes all the ideas that we are or that we want to express. So we should be very clear when we are writing our diary. Next is, again, leave one line blank and write your name. Your name or your signature, whatever it is there. Before writing the name, you have to write a leave taking phrase also. What does it mean? So, after writing, when you feel that yes, you have completed the content or the body part of the diary, just like, okay, bye diary, see you later, talk to you later, good night, like that. So these are known as leave taking phrases, or you can say closing lines. So we are supposed to write just to make our diary more effective, and it also creates a good impression in teacher's mind. This is once again a format along with one of the solution. In the first line we can see that Sunday, April 26, 2020. So we have written day and date. Then in the next line we have written time. This time can be written on the right hand side of the date and day column. I am again repeating, if you are writing time on the right hand side of the first line where you have written day and date, it is also correct. One line blank, dear diary. Now again you can leave one line blank before starting. So it is basically about the question of diary entry, or this solution is basically about how you celebrated your birthday. So after the whole day, at night at 9 p.m, the person is writing his or her diary. Today was my 14th birthday. My parents took all my friends and me for a picnic to celebrate my birthday. They made all possible efforts to make it really a memorable day for all of us. Delicious food, exciting games, and lovely return gifts. My friends reached my house at 9 a.m. and soon we left for the picnic spot, a resort on the outskirts of the city. The fun started from that moment onwards. My mother had planned a sort of treasure hunt where the friends in each of the cars formed teams and searched for the treasure. Once we reached the picnic spot, we had even more fun with very interesting party games and mouth-watering food. After spending the whole day, we left the picnic spot in the evening. I thanked my parents and for planning such an exciting birthday for me. At the end, the person has written Shahana. Clear? So, in the very first line, day and date and followed by time, then salutation, dear diary or dear kitty, hello diary, how are you? Anything could be written. Anything could be written. This is just one sample diary. Clear? Now, the person is writing about how he or she celebrated his or her 14th birthday. So, the child is expressing his or her point of view that his parents took he or she and along with all her friends out to celebrate the birthday, and they have made, and she has very well in 3 paragraphs explained whatever they did the whole day. At the end, again a closing note, I thanked my parents for planning such an exciting birthday for me. So here students, you can see that this diary entry is divided, or the body or the content of the diary entry is divided in 3 parts. Similarly, we are supposed to do that. Okay, at the end, signing off, that means you are supposed to write your name. So this sample diary entry, again you are going to write in your fair notebook as under the heading sample diary entry 1. Rest of the diary entries along with the solution we will share you in the form of PDF. Thank you.